Alright, so there's some more bullshit that's been going on with traversable. Now, I understand that a lot of people are not interested in talking about them, but I am, personally. I'm personally interested in talking about traversable because the more I look into them, the more and more I see how it's just an insane, unethical human being that needs to be criticized more. That's why I see how traversable. Now, let's begin. Now, when it comes to traversable in particular, I've noticed that he has always been this unstable human being, and the mere fact that he flagged Barron's video in the past tells me that he doesn't like dissenting opinions, much like Shives, except with Shives, I haven't heard any cases where he's flagged any people, as far as I understand, with the exception of TJ Kirk. But still, and but still, traversable is the equivalent of the Steve Shives within the mgtow community, but I more or less identify him more or less a duplicate copy of the AIU version of mgtow. The reason why I say this is because he has shown in the past to basically call his critics as pedophiles just to shut down the conversation, and or be this person that loves to basically call them insulting names, and not just doing that, but also apparently flagging people off of Twitter. And literally, I'm not making this up. Like, he flagged Zephnorian's little Twitter account, or not necessarily his accounts, but his tweets, as far as I understand. And it's getting to the point where, the way I see it, the mgtow community really needs to clean up house at this point. Now, granted, my personal stance is they're not likely going to do this because in the past, when I've noticed people try to criticize traversable, there have been mgtows that have criticized traversable, but the problem is the vast majority of mgtows, the way I see it, just simply don't except for the exceptional mgtows that do actually criticize traversable. And not only that, it just seems like it really truly does seem like that every time when traversable does something extremely shady or unethical, especially if letting SFM go crazy and start talking about killing women, it just seems like the only people that are willing to criticize traversable are good-natured human beings like us, and or exceptionally good mgtow that actually understand right and wrong. So that's why I believe that mgtow isn't able to clean up house, because in my experience, the way I see it, they're not willing to call out each other unless if that person did something so extremely heinous and is being talked by bigger YouTubers. Then they feel, in a sense, guilt-tripped to actually respond to that person. And my overall message is that what you did, traversable, you big pile of rocks and all that. What you did is not only unethical, but it's telling a statement. And that statement is that you are no better than AIU. You're no better than Steve Shives because you don't want dissenting opinions. You call people pedophiles because you're afraid of dissenting opinions. And not only that, the mere fact that you have to flag someone's Twitter tweets just to shut them down tells me that your arguments are utterly shit, completely. And not only that, it tells me that you are not exactly a stable human being, and you're contradictory. Because I remember watching one of your hangouts where you were trying to attack the skeptical community by saying how the skeptical community needs to clean up house in regards to the skeptical feminist thing, but yet you don't do that in your own camp, especially in one of your hangouts where you let SFM and a few others go completely unethically overboard with what they had to say. Overall, I really truly think that mgtow needs to do one of two things. They need to do the same thing what they did with Angry mgtow. Overall, go criticize traversable in large masses. Much like the Angry mgtow drama, you have to also do with traversable. But this time, don't stop. You don't stop. You constantly criticize him whenever he makes stupid content or just does something really, really shady. You have to do that option, or you have to reform the mgtow ideology or movements to a point where that sort of behavior will not be accepted. That's my advice. And take it as you will. The mere fact that you are starting to have traversable do this, it's going to breed more people that don't like mgtow. And at eventual point, if mgtow is not capable of calling itself out on other issues, especially when one rotten apple goes absolutely crazy and starts doing unethical things, it's going to lead to a potential future where possibly the feminist community and the anti-feminist community may just actually stop fighting with each other and actually join forces against mgtow. And largely because at that point, mgtow would have made so many enemies to the point where eventually they'll stop attacking each other because they'll see a common enemy. That's how I see the whole thing going down, unless the mgtow community is able to actually get shit together and actually start calling traversable out every time and not stopping. This is me, the Forbidden Thinker. I'm signing out, and I hope you support Sephinorian, especially when he got censored and all that. And I bid you farewell, and also, traversable, if you're watching this, you really did fuck up this time, because, flagging someone off of Twitter, which, it's possible it could have been another person, but I'm more or less believing that it was you, because of all the people that were tagged on those tweets, they don't have a backlog history of doing unethical behavior, as far as I understand, with the exception of Angry mgtow. And I doubt anybody else is likely to do that, with the exception of you. So that's why I believe that you are the one that did it. And not only that, since it seems like that you did it, not only that, it's going to lead to more detractors, literally. And no matter what you say and do is not going to change their minds. In fact, the more you try and defend yourself with your unethical behaviors, it's going to give them ammunition basically against you, and sooner or later, you're going to get your butt kicked by a lot more people eventually if you keep up this bullshit. Just saying.